Hello and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play World of Tanks. Right now I'm in my KV-3 here with a slight modification to it from the last time. I put on the new turret onto it. A little slower in terms of turn radius, little less sight lines, but much better armor. So hopefully the decrease in those two are made up in the fact that the armor is a little thicker. So this episode's going to be a little bit of a tear from the pages of the WWPD guys, and I'll do kind of a noob zone here. Kind of give some tips that I always use, as a bunch of people have been asking what they can do to improve their game, what they feel would help them, so on and so forth. So we'll start off with a nice map like this, where you kind of are limited as to what you can do. You can either go and attack, you can go through the center, or you can go over here and defend your flag. Personally, I always choose to defend. I think defending is one of the clutch things that you need to do in this game. The attacking portion of this game really needs to be a little bit more coordinated, whereas the defenders don't necessarily need the coordination that you would normally have to worry about if you're on the attacking side. So I find it much easier to just come over here, sit and defend, take my time. I can rack up hits, rack up different things, but if worse comes to worse, I at least know what's going to happen, so I can see it coming if I need to call for support or whatnot else. Whereas my attackers, they can do their own thing. Usually they'll push up, hopefully in a group. Hopefully they'll take advantage of whatever tactics they all decide to use, or the map or whatnot else. But overall, it's really a lot of patience that I've noticed in this game that helps me out, on top of just taking your time, missing lots of shots. I was expecting to actually hit that, but of course it's a leopard, so I should have known better. But yeah, I mean, it's I find defending to be better off for my taste. I find it easier to manage, better to negotiate with, and again I miss. Gosh darn it. There we go. So yeah, seeing here's the defenders. We've already taken out a small grouping of their force that came to attack. Nothing major. The majority of their stuff, I believe, is in that center island, or sitting there on their defense side. But overall, kind of clutch thing is the fact that we are making sure that we're preventing them from causing us to have to react. Again, that was a wasted shot. Ugh, so sad. I have to have that bad habit, though, shooting before I really need to. But I'd rather make sure that they're dead as opposed to miss or not take a shot when I needed to.
That one ricochet.
Of course, the one shot I made didn't do anything. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So something I always do is I find a nice, decent bush to hide behind, use it for cover, kind of rock back and forth as needed if I know I'm spotted, because that way it prevents artillery from getting a true lock on me. See, I don't have a direct target, so I'm going to go ahead and keep rocking back and forth, because I can't honestly see them. So I'll just wait, keep rocking back and forth a bit. Now that I'm pretty sure I'm out of line of sight of him, I'm going to pop behind this bush again and wait. Now I don't have the down slope that I hope to, but if anyone decides to come up over this hill, I'll be able to hit him. Normally what you would want to do is kind of get yourself in a position where you can have your turret exposed and nothing else, because your turret's obviously the smaller target, smaller profile's harder to hit, and you still have your full range of line of sight. So another thing I like to do, besides just exposing my turret only, because like I said, it's one of the better armored things. Ooh, hold on here. Oh, boo hiss. Not doing well this round at all. Is like to make sure that my shots are going to hit. I'll wait, line them up best I can. I mean, sometimes I miss. It depends on how I lead and whatnot. But I like to just double check my shot, give it that extra split second, see if I can figure out either where they're going to be heading or if they're going to stop, make sure it's lined up perfectly. And then I take the shot to where I believe is going to be a weak part on their hull. Obviously turrets are going to be much more sloped, so shooting at turrets really is very limited. Your best chances are probably shooting at the gun mount. If even that. I'm not even sure that would be a good choice. Kind of comes down to just aiming at a tank, waiting, making sure that you have a nice hole shot to a nice flat surface, or where a weak spot should hopefully be, and taking the shot. Defensively, like I said, expose just my turret if possible. Try and reduce what they can see. Like for here, I'll hide behind this rock, exposing just enough so that they can only see what I want them to see. Whereas it would be just my turret and a little bit of my hull. And then, just kind of go for the best there. Now, if stuck against another tank, let's say that Tiger P was a little better, closer to me, kind of give a nice 30-degree angle here with my hull. That way it doubles up my armor, as any shot that they're placing is going sideways at an angle into my hull as opposed to dead on. The flat surfaces allow for more penetration, so if you're at an angle, it's having to go through twice as much armor, in theory. So now that we've kind of whittled them down a bit here, kind of tempting to
critical hit.
Move up. So when I shoot a person and don't really do much to them, or I hit them and they're still alive, I like to reposition a bit just to get ready while I'm sitting there reloading. It's more so the fact that I'm just getting ready for return fire than anything else. Not too worried about repositioning my shot because I know that I'll probably have it. More so concerned with just making sure that I'm not going to get hit by any return fire that's going to do any massive damage. Like originally there, I had my back to them, so if they were to hit me, they would have hit either my fuel tanks or my engine, causing serious damage or anything else. So, now that we've pretty much whittled them down, what I like to do is start to mop up. I don't want to sit there for too long. Artillery will possibly range in on you. So that's the one thing about sitting in one position. I like to try and reposition every couple of minutes, just so that people don't know where I am in case they are flanking. So my slow tank here can only do so much as I advance. But I'm going to try and find their stuff, try and clear it out. Because right now, we're kind of at a standstill, even though we don't need to be over here on our capture point. Whereas myself, I can start to push the flank, so I can further assist our team over there. Looks like we have the guys pushing ahead. They're going to be able to take out the majority of the things. I mean, 2 pieces of artillery should not be a problem, and then the slugger, that won't stand up to pretty much half our force if they decided to attack from here up. The little artillery's running away, but hopefully, oh, looks like he got hit. I do not believe I'm going to have line of sight to this guy. Now I'm going to have to move up. So, just wanted to stop there really quick, just in case I would have had line of sight, I would have been able to stop, wait a second to get that reticle centered on him better, pull the trigger and nail him. Because right now, I can see him, but it's going to be one heck of a shot to make. He's moving fast. He's at an angle I probably can't hit him. So that takes us down to just one guy. I don't understand why our forces aren't pushing here, but I'm sure they have good reason. They can see it a little better than I can. So we're going to probably not make it up in time. Our teammate over there will probably get to him well before I will. So he'll probably have a much better shot. And it is a slugger, so hopefully he'll start circling around. Unless he takes one more hit, then he'll be in trouble. I, of course, cannot see anything yet. But still, like I said, on the defensive is probably one of the better things that I do. It's a little bit more suited for my play style. I'm not necessarily camping so much as I like to sit and, in a position defensively, take a shot or two and then reposition. The key is repositioning, otherwise, obviously, people are going to know where you're at, and it's going to lead to you being able to be flanked or hit by artillery. So let's see in another round what we can do. So on clear defensive maps like this one in Campanova, I personally like to take a nice flanking secure position. I don't like to sit in the center and wait and just shoot rounds back and forth at each other at like a 1.5 mile range. It really gets boring, it expends your ammo because you're not going to hit very often, and if you do, you're probably not going to do that much damage. So I personally like to come over here and defend this area that's dead ahead of me. It's a very high trafficked area, so I know I'm going to see action over there, and I'm more beneficial than just sitting there waiting and waiting, doing nothing. So, I'm going to come over here, kind of get into a nice position up here where I probably won't be as easy to hit by artillery, but also in a position where I can assist anyone as needed by either turning around or pop anyone as they come up either of the hills, so on and so forth. Now, my playstyle is actually a lot more suited for tank destroyers like my SU-100 here than it is for the mediums, but I prefer mediums for their speed and their ability to circle around heavier tanks. Wow. Someone just hit me really good, that M6. Good guess with positioning, I guess? So I'm actually going to try and target this T-34 over here, who just disappeared. There he is. There we go, that was actually a very nice lead gas shot. So now he's stuck there. I'm hoping to reload before he gets... Oh, he just repaired. So, there we go, he's down. So I'm going to go ahead and reposition so I'll be ready to take anything that comes up this hill. Because the advantage here on being on top of this hill is they actually have to crest it completely before they'll be able to do much. Because their downward depression of their turret and gun is definitely beyond the slope of this hill, so they can't just poke their turret up and shoot. They actually have to come all the way up. Whereas that gives me the advantage here, even though I wish I was in a different tank that had better depression. I can sit here and pop them as they come up before they can be able to shoot me, at least in theory. Man, that M6 though has one of the better depressions in the game, so he actually can take full advantage of this hill, whereas I cannot. Now I'm down to 46 hit points, I really need to be careful.
Enemy armor is hit.
Pull back anytime that I get a shot off, because sitting there while I'm reloading is not going to help at all. I really need to pull back, get ready for the next shot, move forward, take it, and keep pulling back. Because I'm suited more for hit and runs at the moment, especially with the low life that I have. But I'm sitting here doing heavy damage, so I can't run back too far. I just keep pulling back, place my shot, and move again. Now, see, I'm going to wait here for him to come up, pop him, like I said, start pulling back. Unfortunately, I got hit, but I did heavy damage to him. So, we're going to take another game here and see if I can instill some more wisdom in this next one. So here in city fight maps, where quarters are a lot closer and corners are tight, you really got to pick your angle very well. Artillery is not going to be so much of a factor here as getting flanked because you do not know where the enemy is, because obviously you cannot see him flanking you. So, the trick that I like to do is just pick a nice corner, be able to rock back and forth behind it. Usually people sit right up on it, but you don't necessarily have the same amount of a angle if you're right on top of it as you do if you're back a bit. See, I have a lot more room for fine-tuning adjustments, and thus I can of course move back as needed. Now I'm not as protected here as I think I am, but I do have this car here acting as terrain in the way, so if a shot does come near me, sometimes it might go wild and hit that. Now my team is advancing, so one of the key things that I always like to do is stick with the major force. I mean, obviously this is not a true defensive map, so this is one of those where you can't advance anytime you want. I will always do my best to push with the big group, because the bigger your numbers are, the better chance of success. Now, that isn't necessarily true if they pick silly things to do, like if this whole team decided to go up this hill, that would not end up going well at all. But, on that note, if they do smart things like this, where the majority of the players are all going the right way here, a very strong defensive push, or not defensive push, but an offensive push, it actually can be a very good thing to stick together here.
They're hit. The driver is hit.
See, it's multiple targets for them to shoot at, multiple targets of your own to shoot back at, so you're never having to worry that, oh, maybe you're going against 6 people and you have to choose the strongest or weakest one. You just start firing down the line and you're going to hit different things. Now, of course, you obviously want to target things in groups, so you want to hit the strongest target, you want to put the most amount of fire on the weakest target first, because that way you have a better chance of whittling down their numbers faster, and in the grand scheme of things, it really is the amount of guns coming at you as opposed to the, there we go, as opposed to taking out the bigger thing. Because obviously, I'd rather have 2 tanks dead than 1 tank that's hitting me harder, because that's less return fire. I have a chance to avoid that one guy's shot, as opposed to the 3 or 4 guys around him hitting all all different shots on me, some doing more damage, some doing less. Sometimes you might get tracked, thus leaving you vulnerable to all the different shots. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s. You kind of need to just, I guess, take the lumps with everything. And personally, like I said, go for the weaker target first, because that way you're whittling down their numbers.
Penetration.
I'm getting hit from behind here, so I need to hurry up and turn around. And they're gonna pop him. Oh, nope, he got popped before I could reload. Excellent. Now we unfortunately have people back at our base, so I need to either hurry up and cap, or hope for the best. Because I doubt I'm going to make it back in time, because my driver is obviously dead. So, I'm going to sneak around here. I can probably survive a hit from this guy,
Critical hit.
but I cannot survive another. So I'm not going to reload before he does. I'm going to get in here and hope that my teammates over there shoot him. There we go. Perfect. So sometimes it's all about picking and choosing your battles. I obviously was not going to win that one, so I needed assistance from my team. Best I could do would be hop right into the cap zone here in case my teammates killed him, so that I could start getting some cap points in. So now we're actually sitting here playing the cap game, hoping that either we can cap it before them, or something happens, like my teammates hopefully hitting them, which I think one of our guys just did. So we're actually going to pull this one out, providing that we can cap it within the 5 seconds here. It's going to be a tough nail biter here. I'm hoping we get it, but it's going to be... Oh, there we go. That looked close. So we'll do another one here. Hopefully I can give some more tips. So this match where I'm on the top and in a medium tank, I do like to be a little aggressive, more so than defensive. Your playstyles will really come down to your tank choices. Heavies are your big tanks, for lack of better terms, if I were to put it in a MMO, RPG, or hack and slash variety of looking at things. Your mediums here are your flankers, your quick damage dealers, your DPSers, for lack of better sense. Whereas your, what are those? Your tank destroyers also are your DPSers, but they're more your heavy singular hits. Your, I don't know, comparing it to World of Warcraft here would be a stretch. It'd be like your mages, whereas the mediums are more your rogues, I guess. I don't know. Have to, those are some random comparisons, especially since I haven't played World of Warcraft in, 6 years? 5 years? I don't know. It's been easily since freshman year of college. Yeah, so I like to get in position, sit behind a nice bush, wait a bit. Need to probably turn my turret or my tank a bit there. There we go. I like to sit here and wait, let my team catch up to me, see what happens on the enemy side. If they push up so I get a shot first, I like to sit here and wait it out a bit. I don't like to go ahead and rush ahead, get killed that way. It just doesn't make any sense, and it wastes my time and it wastes my team's time. So unfortunately we've had some guys push ahead pretty far, and I don't know if they've been successful at all. We've already lost two tier 6 and a tier 5, where they've lost, well, they've lost 2 tier 4s and a tier 6, so I guess that's alright. See, now this guy's exposed himself, so I'm going to go ahead and start hitting him. He disappeared though. So I'm going to hope that one shot didn't expose me to return fire. It very well could have though. So I could take the risk and reposition, or I can take the other risk and sit here and wait. I'm thinking, since I didn't hear anything come back at me right away, better off to wait. Now, another 1 or 2 shots, and I probably do need to reposition. If you fire more than 2 shots from your location, chances are you've been seen and you're exposed. So you'll need to move. Now, the problem is... Oh, never mind. We're starting to take them out. So I'm going to actually go ahead and advance here just a little. Try and get my team to follow up behind me. They're all TDs, so I might be better off taking the lead here and just pushing. We have lost that flank and that advantage, so I really do need to get going. See, it's right here. We have quite a few tanks. So I'm going to try and flank around these guys, especially this tank destroyer, because I want to get around to his side.
That one can go through.
There we go. Now that he's damaged from the side, I can actually go around him, taking the easier shots to his flank here, as opposed to getting exposed to the high damage cannon up in the front. Of course we got him, so I didn't need to worry about it. We got a little M4 pegging at us, so we'll
the track is
pop a shot at him, and we'll keep going.
They killed our driver. his position,
Silly
but not very
driver.
well.
This position's not too critical, though. I'm not too worried about driving so fast.
Gotcha.
There we go. Got him on the move. So now both of my tracks are damaged. But I need to start pushing pretty heavy. Because I'm pretty concerned about my team back here. They need to return to base. I'm way too far ahead to really bother worrying about having to reposition to get back there. I don't think I can make it in time. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, advance, try and find out where they are, take them out. I'm willing to bet that that guy back here is that KV-13. So I need to move up, take the cap while I can. Yeah, while I'm technically chasing down that artillery piece, I'm more concerned with getting on that cap point. There's an SU-100 I need to be very wary of because he can potentially do a lot of damage to me. And there he is. Easy. And his sight is exposed to me too.
Critical hit.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit him. Oh, he's on fire, so I can go ahead and ignore him. I'm not too worried about him. Cannons at 3-4 is not really much of a threat.
Main gun knocked out.
So I just got hit in the cannon and it was destroyed, so I'm going to go ahead and use my repair kit to fix it, because that's actually very critical that I have working at full capacity. Tracks, I can get away with. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that cannon makes a huge difference when you can no longer shoot accurately. So I needed that thing back up and working in full working order. Now this little guy, I'm going to miss. But I should hopefully reload before him, because it's going to hurt. And I didn't do any damage to him. Go figure. Don't know why, but I'll take it. Coming here to the cap point. I do not know where their other artillery is, so I cannot hold still. He could either be over here or over here, but my guess. And it's not worth hunting him down. I would honestly rather cap. So I'm going to keep circling until he either is found by our teammates or he exposes himself and tries to run at me. In which case I can then shoot him, hoping I kill him and I don't get return fire. Because yep, there he is. A Hummel like that will actually hurt a lot.
Enemy is hit.
So I'm going to do that. He's actually coming right at me. So I'm going to try and back off. Because if he gets too close, there we go. Try and lead him into my teammate's line of fire. Because at that point, I probably wasn't going to reload before he could hit me, but hopefully my teammates were going to be able to take him out if I could lure him into an area where they could see him. So let's do one more game, and hopefully I will have completed a noob zone in that case. So here's a perfect example of a map where you know where the majority of the enemy is going to be. On this map, pretty much, I'd say a good 3/4 of the enemy team usually sits in the woods over here. So I have the choice of going along the J path and then up 8 or 9 and hitting them from the flank here, but there's a good chance they'll spot you once you get to this hill over here. I personally like to come over here, behind this hill, where I had the most cover, up through this way, up on this path. I have the most cover from the... Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I like to come up here along this path, where it's nice and secure from the artillery because I have the hill to my advantage. There's a good chance the artillery rounds will not be able to hit me as I'm close to hovering behind this hill. So what I like to do is creep up along it, and as the majority of my team goes, I like to kind of sit in the middle of the pack. Now, you will see scouts and whatnot else coming this way. There's a good chance that the enemy will know that I'm going this way as well. Even though I said a lot of majority of the enemy does like to sit in here, there's a good chance that sometimes the enemy was going to take the chance to come and try and hit this major push that the side that spawns over here likes to make. So, not too worried about it. So, as I showed before, right there at the end of that video where I was capping the base, what I like to do is try and lure them back to the enemy team, because I'm not going to be a hero. There's no way my one tank is going to take out a whole slew of enemies. I'm better off to scoot ahead, fire off one shot, and try and draw them back into the line of sight of the rest of my team. Because what good is it going to do me to sit here, take a shot like that, pop them, and then roll back, and then just stand there waiting to reload. No, I'm better off to pop them, try and lure them back here into the hole of the enemy. Because I know that the enemy, or my team here, is going to be able to support me better than myself, taking the random shots here and there and just getting hit full on. So, obviously he's not taking the bait, as I just get hit by, I guess, artillery? Yes, artillery hit me and took out my gun. So again, since I have the repair kit, I'm going to go ahead and repair the gun, as the cannon and the ammo rack are probably the two most important things to have repaired in this game. So I actually wandered a little too far forward as I was able to be hit by the artillery. It was not a smart move. Now, we've hit one of them pretty good. We've lost our 2 mediums up here on top of the hill. Tried to wait and see if that low was going to kill him. He did not. So that means that low still can fire at me. So it's not worth pushing up there yet. So we just got kind of pushed back. So I'm going to try and hide in this bush. Give myself that extra split second of not being detected. While hopefully they come at us. Sadly though, we're kind of contained at the moment. We need to make some sort of a breakthrough here. We almost need our team to either start coming up through this area here, trying to make a flank push around and surround up here, or we need our team to start push heavily around this way. Just sniping long range while we're here in the middle of the city and in the fields, it's not going to help so much. I personally cannot go up and around. I'm going to get exposed. So, since our team doesn't seem like they want to go up this way or flank around, I'm going to slowly withdraw. There's no point in me standing there being the lone man defending the totem pole. I need to pull back, worry about taking off the, worry about taking them on in a different position where it's more suitable for me. Because I know that my team back here is already pushing back, trying to get in better positioning. So me staying up there all alone is going to just get me killed, and I'm not going to end up doing much. So with me pushing back like this, see, I've already found that low pushing up. So I'm already putting myself at a distance from him.
Optics destroyed.
I would only figure.
Tracks is hit.
Whereas my team should be able to help assist.
But it's still fragile.
My TD over here was able to hit him for pretty good. He's down to 400. And this Panther up here is exposing himself to our fire. See, he already just took quite a few hits trying to come over this hill at us. Whereas if I was still up there, he would have had flank shots at me. So it's better off that I was pulling back this whole time. Now, I heard him get stunned, so I'm going to try and come here to help defend him while he gets repaired. Now, if I could just get this Panther, sadly, my teammate got killed.
Enemy vehicle knocked down.
Or no, he didn't. Never mind, he just got hit. So taking that shot definitely helped out. Took out their Panther. Now, I'm going to have to sit here and wait again for him to get repaired. I don't want to necessarily cross this expanse by myself. Alright, so now that he's repaired, I can again start withdrawing, keeping with my team. I, again, never want to try and expose myself to be the only person, as you will easily get flanked or overrun by several of the enemy. You cannot sit there and take them by yourself, no matter how big and tough you think you are on the top of the tier, or on top of the list over there. There's always going to be, no matter what, you'll get overrun, depending on how many it takes. It'll just happen. So we're slowly withdrawing back to our base where we're more able to put up a little positioning, and we have the majority of our team back here as well assisting us. So as you can see, our team is now pushing pretty heavily on this flank, as we already tried this one and it failed. So luckily our team saw it and they're starting to counter. Now with their 2 of their heavies down, all we have to worry about is that object before we can really get into the thick of things. I know for a fact that that low is damaged heavily, so I'm not too worried about him coming around and making a big push. He will get taken out pretty easily. So I'm going to actually position myself to be an assisting sniper here, because I can no longer mix it up in the front. I have lost too much of my health, so I'm going to have to rely on the fact that I'll be at a distance in good cover, and my teammates spotting, so I'll be able to shoot at a long range. Now, there's that low who has kindly exposed himself, so hopefully our team can take advantage of that and hit him. He disappeared. I'm not going to take that shot. Sometimes, if you see them stop and they disappear, if you're good enough and are confident enough, you can take the shot, but you got to be willing to concede the fact that you're going to expose yourself by taking that shot, because you don't know if he's going to be there anymore or not. See, like that, I had to take that shot. I knew he was there. Now if I can just reload in time. See, he moved out of line of sight too quickly. This object though might... Nope, I don't see him, which is good. That means he can't see me, and I'll disappear before he'll be able to move around and hit me. Now, I should be concealed against that object, He's pretty heavily damaged. Oh, he's dead. So it's left is just the T-28 in the low. We just lost one of our tanks over here. So now that I know for a fact that some of their heavier stuff is pretty much whittled down, I'm going to go ahead and start repositioning again, trying to take that flank I originally did. See, there's that low again. Don't have a line of sight on him yet. Now I do.
Looks like that
And I
one
got
went
him.
right through. Got him.
See, I waited to line up that shot perfectly, gave just a split second to get that perfect little last minute twitch aiming. Then I took the shot against him, hitting him through the actual columns there to take him out. That was kind of a key thing though, that his back was to me, because if his front arc was to me, pretty sure I would not have been able to do much of anything. It would have just been a wasted shot dinged off him, and my position would have been revealed. So now I have to be cautious. There we go. The T-20 was exposed, so now I know where he's at. I don't have to worry too much about wandering into him and getting shot before I know where he's at. So it looks like we've collapsed them completely. We've exposed all their positions. So now it's just the point of getting across there, getting line of sight and firing, or waiting until artillery takes them all out like they just did. So there we go. I hope that my tactics and experience have rubbed off onto you guys a bit. I want to thank you for tuning in to this Noob Zone episode of mine, and I hope to catch you guys in the next episode.